Hey guys, how we doing and how we feeling today? I'm Emilio Fernandez and welcome back to the Pop and Bop podcast. Now, on this episode, we're going to talk about and review Sabrina Carpenter's sixth studio album titled Short and Sweet. So, okay, in case you don't know who Sabrina is, and well, let me tell you first of all, if you don't know, she's easily one of the top pop artists in the world right now. And today is August 30th of 2024, just as a reference. So, okay, so she's known for that right now. And more specifically, she's best known for her Billboard Hot 100 top 10 smash hits, Espresso and Please, 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 both of which are on this album. We'll get to them later on. As well as her top 25 hit Feather, which is on the deluxe edition of her previous album, Emails I Can't Send, which we also reviewed on this podcast. Now, this album is mainly a pop album, so we got that out of the way. Now, prior to the album release, we had two singles to promote the album, which were Espresso and Please, 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 the two that I already mentioned. And on the album release day, Sabrina made Taste, which is the first song on this album. We'll get to it just in a moment. She made Taste the third single, and she released a music video alongside the album release. Now, starting with, with onto the album itself. The album is 12 songs long and it's 36 minutes and 15 seconds long. So it's, I would say, a bit on the shorter side of a listening session. So can you breeze right through it? We'll find out. Now, starting with the first track, Taste. The first of my highlights on the album, the electric guitar immediately pulls the listener in. This is a strong opening track. This is one of the strongest tracks on the album, without a doubt. This is the third single, as I already said. It's challenging for a number one debut on the Hot 100. Sabrina wastes no time in setting the stage for this new chapter. This is a pretty sultry song to start us off. And in this song, Sabrina talks about an ex and his new girlfriend, turning her attention to this new girl. She reminds her that she was once this guy's girlfriend. So anything she does with him will likely remind her of Sabrina. She's getting a taste of her whether she likes it or not. This song has been speculated to be about the Sabrina, Shawn Mendes, and Camila Cabello love triangle from last year, 2023. So, pretty interesting song to start us off, not gonna lie, because, I mean, it's called Taste, and like, it's that kind of taste, that one. Because basically, as I said, Sabrina is talking about, she's basically jealous of this ex of hers that has moved on to a new girlfriend, and she's directing her attention to this new girl, and she's like, hey, before you I was his girlfriend, so whatever you do with him, you're gonna get a taste of me, even if you don't want to. That comes with the package, with the full package. So like when you're kissing him, you're gonna get a taste of me as well. So that's a pretty bold thing of Sabrina to say. So anyways, moving on to track number 2, Please, 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 the next of my highlights on the album. This is the second single, as I already said. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and rose to number 1 the following week, becoming Sabrina's first ever number 1 hit on the chart, deservingly so. Actually, I thought that Espresso, which we'll get to in a bit, I thought Espresso was gonna be her first number 1 hit, but as I'm gonna mention later on, but I'll mention it right now. Espresso peaked at number 3. It debuted at number 7 on the Hot 100 top 10. And as of today, it has peaked at number 3. But I believe that Espresso deserved to be Sabrina's first number 1 hit. It can still be number 1. However, with Taste challenging for a number 1 debut, um, I don't know. Like, it seems harder for Espresso to reach the number 1 spot now. But I mean, if you ask me, out of the 3 singles, Espresso is easily the strongest one. Then I would say Taste, and then Please, Please, Please. But the 3 of them are really strong pop hits. Okay, so anyways, with that out of the way, the production catches the listener's attention from the get-go, giving off a slight retro sound. That is the first thing that I picked up on when I saw the music video for Espresso for the first time, because Espresso and Please, 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 like both music videos, starting with Espresso and then with Please, 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 she tells you a story, a two-part story. I thought it was gonna go on for the rest of the singles, like for example, Taste, but Taste is a different story altogether. But I liked that she did this two-parter because at the end of the Espresso music video, she teases the sound of Please, Please, Please. At the time, we didn't know what this song was gonna be called, but we just had heard that snippet, you know? And the first thing I thought was, okay, this sounds like a retro song, kind of. So it's interesting. Like, I love when artists, modern artists, take like 80s songs, 90s songs, even 2000 songs, and they like make it their own. Obviously, not every single time it's gonna work. Like, sometimes, obviously, it's done lazily. Like, it's not a lot of effort is put into that new song, new-ish. But in this case, I don't know if she sampled something. I really didn't research that, but if she did, I think it sounds fresh still, which is pretty important, obviously. Sabrina's vocal performance here is stunning. And in this song, Sabrina talks about her current boyfriend, actor Barry Keoghan, or Keegan, I don't know how you pronounce that, who starred in the music video as her love interest, which in turn continues the story seen in the music video for Espresso, which I already mentioned. And in case you don't know who Barry is, he is best known for starring in Saltburn, the movie from last year, 2023, and he's also part of the MCU. He starred in Eternals, the 2021 movie, and well, she's aware that he doesn't make the best of decisions, and the people around her have made sure to let her know that. She loves him anyways and finds herself justifying his actions amid people's disapproval of him. She just hopes he doesn't let her down and embarrass her for defending him so strongly. Okay, so yeah, I mean, based on the title, Please, 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 like, she's really emphasizing that, like, word. So it is kind of a straightforward song, but interesting nonetheless, because like it still has layers to it. It's not that basic. Like, well, not basic. It's not that simple lyrically. So yeah, like basically she's talking about Barry, her boyfriend, um but in a general sense, like she's talking about her boyfriend, and this boyfriend of hers, like he doesn't have like the best of reputations, and because he doesn't make the wisest of choices, and the people around her like have told her that, but she's like ignoring that, or just like pretending that they're not telling her like that. So, but she loves him anyways. Like she's willing to look past that, because maybe for her it's not that big of a deal, but maybe it should be like bigger of a deal. So, but in the songs, I love the lyric, the part of the lyrics that says, I hope you don't embarrass me, motherfucker. I really like that. Really became something viral. Like a lot of people were referencing that lyric. So yeah. Now moving on to track number 3, Good Graces. This is one of the okay, I was gonna mention this is also one of my highlights on the album. One of the strongest tracks on the album as well. The production and Sabrina's delightful vocals complement each other excellently. The guitar playing in the background is the cherry on top. And in this song, Sabrina advises her partner to remain on her good side or on her good graces. Otherwise, she's quick to turn that love into indifference or even worse, hatred. When she loves a guy, she's sweet as can be, but play her dirty and she'll turn on you and move on to someone new. So, okay, this song, as I said, is one of the strongest on the album, and it's actually one of the most streamed as of today of the album. Like after the 3 singles, I believe this is the most streamed non-single album track, and deservingly so. People have taste, no pun intended. So yeah, like basically Sabrina is telling her partner, like, hey, like don't fuck this up, like don't go doing things that I don't like, don't do anything suspicious, because when she loves someone, she's like all like loving, like she's all, that's redundant, but she's all like, like lovey-dovey, but do something that she doesn't like, and she can turn that love into something ugly. Like she can like really turn on you. So she's advising her partner, and she's warning him that, hey, like if you don't um behave, like if you don't stay on my good graces, I'm gonna move on to someone new and leave you behind. Now, track number 4, Sharpest Tool. The guitar playing since the beginning gives this song a laid back sound. And in this song, Sabrina talks about an ex, particularly how things went south for them. He's not the brightest of minds out there. Things seemed to be going good for them until he led them straight into a bump in the road. He would leave her second guessing lots of things, and now she's just someone he hates. Sabrina now finds herself wondering if the relationship was only casual all along, naturally feeling like a fool if that turns out to be true. One thing's for sure though, their communication was always weak. Okay, so whenever you're in a relationship and the communication is not there, or it's just lacking, like there's just a little bit of it there, obviously it's going to be a problem. You always have to have good communication with your partner or with your friend, your family member, whoever it may be. There always has to be communication. So, in any kind of relationship. But in this case, in a romantic relationship, yeah, it's like crucial. So, but in this case, Sabrina's talking about someone who's not very smart, and he like her partner is not, well, her ex is not very smart. So it really doesn't surprise her why things ended the way they did. So yeah. Now, moving on to track number 5, Coincidence. This song has a folksy kind of vibe going on. And in this song, Sabrina talks about a relationship she's in where the guy hasn't managed to put his ex in the past. In a brief amount of time, he went from having no doubts about remaining with Sabrina to contemplating his ex as an option once again. This guy has lost his common sense just thinking about his ex. He goes as far as going back to her only for them to break up again. Like with Taste, this song has been speculated to be about the Sabrina, Sean, and Camila love triangle from last year. So, mostly what I'm going to say about this song, what I'm going to add to it is that I have been seeing people like commenting on this gossip of this love triangle. Last year, I did see when Sabrina and Sean were spotted together. So, and obviously, I know of Camila and Sean's dating history. So, but at the time, I remember that they said that they debunked that Sabrina and Sean were actually dated. But it appears that they did date, but it was like short and sweet, as this album is called. So, and it does make sense, like reading the lyrics of this song, that this is about that love triangle because last year also at Coachella, Sean and Camila were spotted together. They were kissing, and that's when they got back together briefly, and then they quickly broke up again. So I do believe that this song is about them. Now, track number 6, Bad Chem, another one of my highlights. This is easily the most sultry song on the album, especially given by the suggestive title and how the electric guitar sounds. Sabrina's vocal performance here is exceptional. Sabrina's use of Shakespearean language here is a welcome addition. And in this song, Sabrina talks about her boyfriend Barry, going into detail about their sexual chemistry and just how good he makes her feel. In an interview with Paper Magazine, Sabrina stated that Christina Aguilera, a childhood idol of hers, inspired the R&B like early 2000s layers in this song. So, not a lot to add here. I mean, they're pretty suggestive lyrics, and that's a common thread in this album. Sabrina, I like that Sabrina is exploring that side of her more in her music, more so than her previous album, Emails I Can't Send, especially in songs like Nonsense and Bet You Wanna. But in this song, yeah, like basically she's talking about that, like the sexual chemistry that she has with Barry and how good he makes her feel. So, and I liked that she got inspired by Christina Aguilera, because Christina Aguilera has also inspired countless other female artists, female pop artists like Tate McRae, for example. And so, yeah. Now, track number 7, Espresso, another one of my highlights. This is a lead single, as I already said. One of the strongest tracks on the album by far. This song is insanely catchy. It peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100, as I already said, and it marked Sabrina's first ever top 10 entry on the charts. This song was the one to really put Sabrina on the map, making her a main pop girl. This song will undoubtedly become one of Sabrina's signature hits, as with Feather and Nonsense, and also Please, Please, Please. This song is pop perfection. The production grabs the listener's attention immediately, giving off a clear summer sound, which matches the music video's aesthetic. This was considered by some to be this year's Song of the Summer, and I do consider it to have been the song of summer 2024. And in this song, Sabrina could potentially be talking about her boyfriend. He's so uh, enamored of her that it's driving him crazy, being unable to sleep every night thinking about her as if she were espresso. She's got him wrapped around her finger and she's very much enjoying this power dynamic. So, okay, this is a pretty interesting song because I like that she used, like, when she announced this song before Coachella this year, I thought, like, okay, I said, okay, it's called Espresso. So I thought that it was going to be literally about singing about like coffee. I don't know. Like, I was like, okay, like, what is she going to talk about? But I like that she used this like metaphor of espresso to say, like, I drive this boy so crazy, like my boyfriend so crazy that he can't even sleep at night. He has insomnia just thinking about me. That's that mi espresso, as she says. And I have him wrapped around my finger, like all that jazz. Now, track number 8, Dumb and Poetic. Sorry, Dumb and Poetic. Sabrina slows things down with this acoustic guitar ballad. And in this song, Sabrina talks about an ex and how things ended between them. He pretended to be dumb and poetic in a ploy to make her stay with him, all while he had a problem of substance abuse and there was a lack of communication overall. He was sad there was no communication between them, yet he was the one to put them in that predicament. He led them right into chaos and abandoned the ship. And he would constantly mess with her head as if it was something he really enjoyed doing. So, okay, this is a pretty good ballad. And this song, yeah, it's basically like she's talking about someone, well, in this case, an ex that had a problem with drugs, and he pretended to be someone he was not, in this case, someone poetic, just to make her stay with him. Which is, it's obviously terrible when you're with someone and they're clearly toxic and they're like bringing you down with them and they're doing all that. Like they're manipulating you into staying with them. That's obviously awful. Now, track number 9, Slim Pickens. This is a country-esque song. Sabrina's vocals here are beautiful, and in this song, Sabrina talks about having a hard time finding a good guy that meets her needs. So she's left no other choice but to work with what she can get. So basically, Slim Pickens means like when picking at straws, like um like taking, like having very little to choose from. That's basically what it means. So yeah, this is a pretty straightforward song because Sabrina is basically like she's having a hard time finding someone, a guy who's attractive according to her and that is nice. And so she has to work with what she can get. Like she has to work with the guys she can find. Maybe she's not attracted to them and maybe they're not very nice, but like she's like, hey, if I can't kiss someone that I love, I'll kiss you. Now, track number 10, Juno, another one of my highlights. Sabrina picks things back up with this track. Her vocals here are spectacular. The instrumentation here is amazing, especially the electric guitar solo towards the final portion of the song. And in this song, Sabrina talks about feeling so physically attracted to her partner and loving how good he makes her feel that she wants him to get her pregnant. She finds herself thinking about him late at night and simply wants to get intimate with him. This song references a 2007 movie of the same name, in which the protagonist, played by Elliot Page, is pregnant. So yeah, like it's pretty straightforward. She wants to have a baby. So she's very like, yeah, she's basically ovulating and she wants that mm, she wants that experience, let's just say. Now, track number 11, Lie to Girls. Sabrina slows things down one last time. This is the weakest track on the album sound wise, but not a bad song by any means. Like, by weakest, I don't mean that it's weak, just like compared to the rest of the album, it's the weakest one. And in this song, Sabrina talks about an ex, particularly about the fact that girls that like him will lie, cry, and go crazy all for the sake of dating him. So, yeah, like pretty straightforward. Basically, Sabrina's talking about this ex that girls go crazy for him. They will lie, they will cry, they will go batshit. So, yeah. And that brings us to the final song on the album, Don't Smile, the last of my highlights on the album. This is a strong closing track. The piano that kicks off the song is remarkable. This was the right song to wrap up the album, thematically speaking. Both the instrumentation in general and Sabrina's vocal delivery really convey the sad nature of the song. And in this song, Sabrina talks about feeling sad that her relationship has met its end. She's heard that her ex has moved on already, as she clearly hasn't, and wants him to think about her when he's with his new girlfriend. Sabrina wants him to miss her, but has an inkling that he doesn't miss her in the slightest. Rather than saying, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, Sabrina turns the phrase around and says, don't smile because it happened, cry because it's over. And this could also be Sabrina's way of saying to the listeners, like, hey, um, don't um, don't smile because it happened, cry because it's over. In this case, cry because the album is over. Now, that's the album. So overall, this is quite a strong pop album. Sabrina has reached a new peak in her career with this sixth album, both in terms of commercial success and quality of her craft. Sabrina proves that she can stand on her own without the need of collaborations on an album, as she did with her previous album, Emails I Can't Send. And the production is highly consistent, and Sabrina's vocal performance is outstanding all throughout. Now, when comparing this album to the rest of Sabrina's discography, do I consider this album to be her best? Yes, hard yes. Emails I Can Send is a close second, and Sabrina has accomplished a rare feat here that with 6 albums under her belt, each successive album has improved upon the previous one. And going briefly over her discography, we have Eyes Wide Open, her debut album, which was not very strong for a debut album. And it sounds very much like a Disney album, like a Disney Channel album. And I mean, she started with Hollywood Records, so it's understandable. But yeah, very much sounds like that. Now, her second album, Evolution, is a notorious step up from her debut album. Then we have Singular Act 1, her third album. And this album was where Sabrina started to find her sound, find her footing. Then we have Singular Act 2, and this is where Sabrina ended her Hollywood Records era with a bang. And then we have her fifth album, Emails I Can't Send, in which Sabrina maximized her fresh start with Island Records and for the first time expressed her true artistic self. And that brings us to her sixth album, Short and Sweet, the album we just reviewed. Now, what score do I give Short and Sweet? I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, so that was my review for Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. Before I go, I just want to say that you can now leave comments on an episode, on any episode you want. So feel free to give us feedback. It's always welcome. And make sure to follow Pop and Bop on all social media. It's basically Pop and Bop everywhere. And yeah, guys, this has been Pop and Bop. I'm Emilio Fernandez, and I'll catch you next time when we review Charlie XCX's sixth studio album, Brat. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time.